2,000 to 2,500 killed by January 2,010,350. 000 displaced by January 2010. Sudanese nomadic conflicts are non-state conflicts between rival nomadic tribes taking place in the territory of Sudan. Since 2011, South Sudan, conflict between nomadic tribes in Sudan is common, with fights breaking out over scarce resources, including grazing land, cattle and drinking water. Some of the tribes involved in these clashes have been the Messiria, Malia, Rizigat and Bani Hussein Arabic tribes inhabiting Darfur and West Kordofan, and the Dinka, Nuer and Morley African ethnic groups inhabiting South Sudan. Conflicts have been fueled by other major wars taking place in the same regions. In particular the Second Sudanese Civil War, the war in Darfur and the Sudanese conflict in South Kordofan and Blue Nile. Over the years, clashes between rival ethnic militias have resulted in a large number of casualties and displaced hundreds of thousands of people. In recent years, particularly violent clashes broke out in 1993 between Jikani Nuer and Lu Nuer in Upper Nile. In 2009 to 2012 between Lu Nuer and Morley in Jonglei, and in 2013-2014 between Malia, Rizegat, Messiria, Salamat and Bani Hussein in Darfur and West Kordofan. Fighting in 2008 between the Messiria and the Rizegat tribes claimed around 70 lives. Early 2009 saw several instances of fighting between nomadic tribes in Sudan which killed around 900 people, mainly women and children, in the south of the country. On the 26th of May 2008 a large-scale clash occurred between the Messiria and the Rizegat tribes when 2,000 Rizegat men, mounted on horses and 35 vehicles, attacked a group of Messiria near to the village of Meram. Sudanese police attempted to intervene and establish a buffer zone between the tribes, but as they were doing so were attacked by around 3,000 Rizegat horsemen. The attack killed 75 police officers, 75 from the Rizegat tribe and between 89 and 109 from the Messiria. The Interior Minister, Ibrahim Mahmoud Hamad, has pledged to bring those responsible for the fighting to justice and to take steps to disarm civilians. The United Nations mission in Sudan, which earlier in May deployed 120 peacekeepers to Jonglei state to prevent tribal conflict, is also investigating. In the meantime, Sudanese authorities have asked both tribes to move at least 5 kilometers from each other to avoid fresh outbreaks of fighting. Whilst fighting in the area appears to have calmed down, the situation remains tense and there are concerns over security for the February National General election. The 2009 Sabat River ambush was a battle between Jikani Nuer tribesmen and the Sudanese People's Liberation Army, which was escorting a United Nations aid convoy on the 12th of June 2009. In early morning on the 2nd of August 2009, more than 180 members of the Lu Nuer community were killed, more than 30 others injured, and further numbers were declared missing in a well-coordinated and planned attack carried out whilst they were fishing for food, allegedly by Morley fighters. 11 protective soldiers were also killed. The dead were searching for food amidst severe shortages after barges which were shipping aid to them were attacked the previous June. People were pursued in the direction of a river, with some bodies becoming tangled in fishing nets. The majority of the dead were children and women, with entire families claimed to have been wiped out. The death toll was predicted to rise. At least 139 people were killed in tribal clashes following a cattle raid in southern Sudan which took place on the 2nd of January 2010. On the 11th of January 2010, Nuer attackers targeted a Dinka village, killing 45 civilians and injuring 102 civilians in a particularly brutal attack. In April 2010, the UN stated that over 400 people have been killed across South Sudan in civil war, revenge attacks and cattle raids so far in 2010. At least 55 people were killed in an attack in South Darfur between the Sudan People's Liberation Army in South Sudan and another unidentified disputed party, thought to be either the Rizegat or Sudan People's Armed Forces. The UN received reports that Messiria tribe members clashed with members of the Sudanese Armed Forces in mountainous territory to the west of Kars in South Darfur on 9 and 10 November 2010. The Sudanese army denied being involved in fighting in the area, but a spokesman for the Arab United Revolutionary Force Front said that helicopters and jets had attacked their positions, killing 7 civilians and 2 fighters. Men from the Messiria tribe stopped 150 cars in the state of South Kordofan and took almost 1,000 of the passengers hostage. The hostages were traveling from Khartoum to the south to take part in the 9th of January 2011 Southern Sudanese independence referendum. The Messiria say they will continue to hold the hostages until the South Sudan's unity state pays blood money it promised after 3 Messiria shepherds were killed by southern tribes earlier in the year. At least